The overall situation is declining sales, which have led to declining profits. They forecast that their operating margins will be about half of what they were last year.
Stellantis, the heart of the big three for decades, is in huge trouble. Have you ever wondered what it would mean if a giant like Stellantis stumbled, or worse, fell? Well, right now Stellantis is facing crises that few could have predicted. From internal struggles to global challenges, its journey is no longer about maintaining the status quo, but about survival. Why should you care? Because what happens to Stellantis will shape not only the roads we drive on, but also the jobs, the technology, and the economy that underpin our daily lives. This is more than just cars, it's about the future of mobility itself. Stay with us because in this video we will explore every angle, what is happening, what needs to change, and why this matters to you. How did we get here? Imagine being one of the largest automakers in the world, only to find yourself fighting to stay relevant less than a decade after your formation. Stellantis was born in 2021 through the merger of Fiat Chrysler Automobiles and the PSA Group. The merger was celebrated as a bold move, bringing together 14 distinct automotive brands under one roof. With promises of cutting-edge technology, an expanded global footprint, and streamlined operations, the company seemed poised to dominate the automotive world. However, managing such a diverse portfolio proved far more complex than anyone anticipated. Each brand carried its own history, identity, and challenges, requiring careful navigation to maintain their individuality while unifying operations. The early days of Stellantis were marked by optimism, as investors and industry insiders hoped the combined expertise of these legacy automakers would create a powerhouse. But as time passed, the cracks began to show. Initial signals of trouble emerged with production hiccups and misaligned priorities across brands. Instead of a cohesive vision, Stellantis struggled to balance the demands of its diverse lineup. Press scrutiny intensified, questioning whether the merger could truly deliver on its ambitious promises. Internally, there was growing unease as the complexities of managing such a vast operation began to weigh heavily. The cracks didn't just appear overnight. There's a deeper story here, and it would soon unravel for the world to see. A crisis of leadership. Is Stellantis' biggest problem its cars or the people in charge? The spotlight quickly turned to CEO who had been hailed as a brilliant strategist during the merger. Under his leadership, the initial promise of Stellantis began to falter, as insiders voiced concerns about his decision-making and its impact on the company's future. Figures like Frank Rhodes, the great-grandson of Walter P. Chrysler, publicly criticized the leadership, highlighting what they saw as a lack of vision for iconic American brands like Chrysler and Dodge. Similarly, Kevin Farish, president of the Stellantis National Dealer Council, penned scathing letters accusing the company of undermining its dealers and iconic brands. These public statements reflected a growing sense of disillusionment among those closest to the automaker. Executive decision-making has ripple effects throughout an organization. Critics argued that the CEO focus on short-term profitability came at the expense of long-term growth. This approach left many questioning whether Stellantis could maintain its position as one of the big three American automakers. Leadership sets the tone for any organization, and at Stellantis, the tone seemed increasingly disconnected from the realities faced by its workers, dealers, and customers. The recall nightmare. What do 1 million trucks and thousands of Jeeps have in common? They're all facing serious problems. Recalls have become a recurring headache for Stellantis, tarnishing its reputation and eroding consumer trust. From the Ram 1500 to Jeep models plagued by instrument panel issues, these defects have highlighted significant quality control concerns within the company. The scale of these recalls is staggering, with over 1 million vehicles affected in some instances. Such large-scale issues not only disrupt production, but also cast doubt on the reliability of Stellantis products. Customers who once trusted the brand now face skepticism, questioning whether the vehicles they purchase will stand the test of time. The damage extends beyond immediate repair costs. Recalls create logistical challenges, requiring resources to identify, communicate, and resolve issues across global markets. More importantly, they chip away at brand loyalty, as dissatisfied customers are less likely to return. These recalls aren't just mistakes, they're symptoms of a much bigger issue within Stellantis' operations. Dealers and consumers lose patience. Stellantis is facing a growing divide between its leadership and its dealer network, a critical link in the automotive industry's chain. Open letters from dealers, like the one from Kevin Farish, reveal a deep frustration with how the company has been handling its operations. Dealers have voiced concerns about poor communication, lack of support, and an unclear vision for the future of key brands. These frustrations spill over onto showroom floors, where negative sentiment from dealers influences how customers perceive the automaker. Consumers, in turn, are increasingly disenchanted with Stellantis, as their experiences at dealerships reflect broader issues within the company. The growing gap between Stellantis and its partners is a serious problem. Dealers play a crucial role in maintaining customer relationships, and when that trust is broken, the entire system begins to falter. And just when you thought it couldn't get worse, there's another battle brewing, one that could reshape the future of the company entirely. The products. Promise versus reality. When was the last time you felt genuine excitement for a Chrysler or Dodge release? The once iconic nameplates that helped define American automotive history now struggle to capture attention in a crowded marketplace. Over the decades, models like the Dodge Charger and Chrysler 300 became synonymous with power, elegance, and innovation. Today, however, these brands face a harsh reality. They have failed to evolve in ways that resonate with modern audiences. Competing automakers consistently refresh their lineups, introducing sleek designs and cutting-edge technologies that cater to shifting consumer preferences. By contrast, Chrysler and Dodge seem stuck in a time warp, unable to break free from outdated molds. This stagnation has left them vulnerable, as buyers gravitate toward brands that better reflect their needs for sustainability, connectivity, and innovation. The risks of maintaining an aging portfolio are enormous. Younger buyers in particular prioritize modernity and efficiency over nostalgia. With limited new offerings that appeal to these demographics, Chrysler and Dodge face diminishing relevance in a market increasingly dominated by forward-thinking competitors. It is not just a loss of sales, it is a loss of identity, and that is a far greater challenge to overcome. This lack of excitement is not merely a problem of perception, it directly impacts Stellantis' bottom line. Every uninspired release chips away at consumer loyalty, making it harder for the company to retain its foothold in an already competitive industry. Nostalgia alone will not save these brands. Without significant reinvention, the future of Chrysler and Dodge will continue to dim. Electric dreams or electric nightmares? Can new electric vehicles save Stellantis or bury them faster? The push toward electric mobility is not optional in today's automotive landscape. It is a necessity. However, Stellantis' approach to electric vehicles has raised more questions than answers. As part of its stated goal to electrify its lineup, Stellantis announced ambitious plans for a range of electric models across its 14 brands. Yet this ambition has been met with skepticism. Convincing traditional performance enthusiasts to embrace electric vehicles remains a monumental challenge. For decades, Dodge muscle cars symbolized raw power and combustion-fueled excitement. Transitioning that image to an electric future requires not just innovation, but a redefinition of the brand's essence. Meanwhile, competitors are sprinting ahead. Tesla dominates the electric vehicle market, setting benchmarks for range, performance, and desirability. General Motors and Ford have both made significant strides, unveiling electric trucks, crossovers, and sedans that resonate with both consumers and critics. Stellantis, by comparison, seems to lag behind in terms of innovation and execution. Models like the Dodge Charger Daytona SRT concept have drawn attention, but questions remain about whether these efforts will translate into real success. The stakes are immense. Electric vehicles are not just a new product line, they represent the future of the entire automotive industry. If Stellantis cannot successfully navigate this transition, it risks falling even further behind its rivals. While the electric future may look bright, Stellantis must ensure it is not left squinting in the shadows. Jeep, Ram, and the big trucks problem. Jeep and Ram have long been the cornerstones of Stellantis' portfolio, representing ruggedness and reliability. Yet even these stalwarts are beginning to show cracks in their armor. Consumer preferences are shifting. As environmental awareness grows and fuel efficiency becomes a priority, the demand for oversized trucks and SUVs is waning. While Jeep and Ram remain popular, their market share is not as secure as it once was. Buyers are increasingly exploring alternatives that offer the same functionality with better efficiency and lower environmental impact. Compounding this issue are regulatory pressures. Governments worldwide are introducing stricter emission standards, which pose significant challenges for traditional internal combustion engine models. Jeep and Ram must adapt to these regulations, but doing so without alienating their loyal customer base is no easy feat. Brand loyalty for Jeep and Ram stands at a crossroads. While these names still carry weight, they cannot rely on reputation alone. Without addressing the environmental and technological demands of today's market, even these iconic brands risk becoming relics of the past. If Stellantis cannot fortify its core strengths, the outlook for its other, less stable brands becomes even bleaker. The forgotten brands. Under the Stellantis umbrella, brands like Maserati, Alfa Romeo, and Fiat struggle to find their place in the competitive North American market. Once symbols of prestige and performance, these names now face an identity crisis. Maserati's luxury positioning has been undermined by inconsistent quality and underwhelming sales. Alfa Romeo, despite its storied history, has failed to gain significant traction outside of niche enthusiasts. Fiat, once a darling of compact car buyers, has all but disappeared from North American showrooms. Together, these brands paint a picture of potential unrealized. Positioning these marks in a market dominated by more consistent luxury and compact competitors requires significant reinvention, yet Stellantis has shown little evidence of a cohesive strategy to revive them. Instead, speculation has grown that these underperforming divisions might be eliminated altogether. While cutting costs may seem like a prudent move on paper, it risks unraveling the delicate balance of Stellantis' multi-brand portfolio. Ultimately, these forgotten brands serve as a cautionary tale. Even the most storied names can falter when neglected or mismanaged. If Stellantis hopes to preserve the legacy of Maserati, Alfa Romeo, and Fiat, it must act decisively, and soon. Cutting these brands might offer short-term financial relief, but the long-term impact on the company's identity could be devastating. Worker strikes and union backlash. What happens when the people building your cars decide they have had enough? For Stellantis, tensions with the United Automobile Workers Union have been escalating as unresolved issues regarding wages, contracts, and plant closures come to a head. These disputes have created a climate of uncertainty that threatens the automaker's ability to maintain production and, by extension, its competitiveness in a demanding market. At the heart of the conflict lies the wage gap. Union members argue that their compensation has not kept pace with the rising cost of living, nor does it reflect the record profits Stellantis has enjoyed in recent years. Meanwhile, Stellantis faces the challenge of balancing competitive worker wages with its goal of remaining financially viable in an increasingly electrified and automated industry. The friction has been further exacerbated by rumors of plant closures, which have sparked fears of job insecurity among employees. Workforce disruptions pose a significant risk to Stellantis' operations. A prolonged strike could halt production lines, delay vehicle deliveries, and lead to billions of dollars in lost revenue. The ripple effect would extend to suppliers and dealers, both of whom rely on steady production to keep their businesses afloat. For dealerships, this could mean fewer vehicles to showcase and sell, while suppliers could face inventory bottlenecks or canceled orders. Beyond the immediate financial losses, strikes and labor unrest can tarnish the company's reputation. Consumers increasingly pay attention to how businesses treat their employees, and negative publicity can result in lost customer trust. Investors, too, are wary of prolonged labor disputes, as they signal instability and potential disruptions to future profitability. This potential fallout underscores the vital importance of labor stability in ensuring the automaker's operational health. While negotiations between Stellantis and the United Automobile Workers Union continue, the stakes are undeniably high. This is a battle Stellantis cannot afford to lose, but it just might. A resolution that satisfies both the workforce and the company's financial objectives is crucial to navigating these tumultuous waters and avoiding a prolonged crisis. The economics of decline. When the financial pillars start to crumble, the rest soon follows. Stellantis has reported significant drops in revenue and profit across its North American division, signaling deeper systemic issues within the company. Sales in the region have plummeted, with analysts noting an 18% decline in vehicle sales and a 48% reduction in profits. These numbers illustrate the stark reality. The company is losing ground in one of its most critical markets. One of Stellantis' major dilemmas lies in its short-term cost-cutting measures. While slashing expenses may boost immediate profit margins, it often comes at the expense of long-term investment. This is evident in the company's underfunded research and development programs, which lag behind competitors who are aggressively pursuing advancements in electric vehicles and autonomous technology. Without a robust pipeline of innovative products, Stellantis risks falling further behind in a rapidly evolving automotive landscape. The financial instability extends beyond internal operations. A shaky foundation directly impacts the company's ability to develop and launch new models. High levels of debt and shrinking cash reserves limit its capacity to invest in the manufacturing updates required for next-generation vehicles. Additionally, financial challenges diminish investor confidence, potentially reducing access to critical funding. The automotive industry is capital-intensive, requiring billions of dollars for research, development, and production. Losing investor trust could further erode Stellantis' ability to remain competitive. Moreover, consumer loyalty is fragile in times of financial uncertainty. Declining revenue often forces companies to make unpopular decisions, such as discontinuing models or scaling back features, which can alienate customers and drive them to competitors. For Stellantis, retaining its customer base while navigating financial challenges is a delicate balancing act. The downward spiral of economic decline is evident. The combination of declining revenue, insufficient investment, and waning consumer interest threatens Stellantis' position as a major player in the industry. The company faces a crucial juncture: adapt and rebuild its financial health or risk slipping into irrelevance. Consumer preferences have changed. If Stellantis cannot give buyers what they truly want, who will? Consumer preferences have undergone a seismic shift in recent years, driven by growing demand for efficiency, technology, and environmentally friendly vehicles. Buyers are prioritizing sustainability and cutting-edge features, leaving automakers like Stellantis scrambling to align their lineups with these evolving tastes. The company's current offerings fail to meet the expectations of today's discerning customers. Stellantis has been criticized for its slow adoption of hybrid and electric vehicles, particularly as competitors like Tesla, General Motors, and Ford dominate the space with innovative, affordable, and desirable models. Meanwhile, the lack of advanced connectivity features and user-friendly technology in Stellantis vehicles further alienates tech-savvy consumers. Competitors have been quick to capitalize on these shortcomings by delivering vehicles that align with contemporary values, such as lower carbon emissions and integrated smart systems. Other automakers are steadily winning over potential Stellantis customers. Toyota's dominance in the hybrid market, for instance, has left Stellantis struggling to catch up, while Tesla's innovative direct-to-consumer model continues to disrupt traditional dealership networks. The market is not forgiving. Companies that fail to innovate are left behind. Automakers must now cater to a broader set of consumer expectations, ranging from sustainability to luxury to digital connectivity. The rise of subscription services for in-car features and software updates adds another layer of complexity, further highlighting Stellantis' lag in technology integrations. For Stellantis, this is a make-or-break moment. The gap between consumer expectations and its current lineup grows wider with each passing day. Pivot or perish, those are the only options. To regain relevance, the company must prioritize sustainability and technological innovation while responding to the unique demands of its global customer base. Lessons from history. The Chrysler Corporation, a cornerstone of Stellantis' brand portfolio, has a storied history of rising from the ashes during challenging times. Iconic revivals, such as the introduction of the K-cars in the 1980s and the invention of the modern minivan, breathed new life into a struggling company and reshaped the industry. However, today's circumstances differ greatly from those earlier crises. Back then, Chrysler was able to tap into uncharted market opportunities, offering innovative solutions that addressed unmet consumer needs. The K-cars provided affordable, fuel-efficient options during an energy crisis, while minivans created a new vehicle category altogether. These strategic moves showcase the company's ability to think ahead and adapt. Replicating such success in the current era presents a formidable challenge. The automotive industry is now saturated with fierce competition and rapid technological advancements. Developing a single breakthrough model may no longer suffice to secure a company's future. Furthermore, consumer expectations and regulatory demands are far more complex than in the past, requiring automakers to juggle sustainability, affordability, and innovation simultaneously. Regulatory pressures further complicate the picture. Governments worldwide are introducing stringent emission standards and promoting incentives for electric vehicle adoption, creating a high-stakes race for compliance and market share. Automakers must now balance these mandates with the economic realities of mass production, a challenge that leaves little room for error. This time, a single model might not be enough to save Stellantis. To navigate this new landscape, the company must leverage lessons from its history while embracing a forward-thinking approach that accounts for the unique demands of the 21st century. Diversifying its lineup, investing in cutting-edge technology, and prioritizing sustainability will be critical components of its revival strategy. The stakes are higher than ever, and the path forward is anything but clear. But history has shown that bold moves, when executed with precision and foresight, can turn the tide. Whether Stellantis rises to the occasion or falters under the weight of its challenges remains to be seen. The future of Stellantis and the industry. The automotive world is abuzz with speculation. Is this the final chapter for Stellantis as a member of the Big Three, or can it muster a rallying cry that redefines its legacy? For Stellantis to weather the storm, several potential strategies may need to be employed. One of the most immediate paths to survival could involve restructuring its sprawling operations. By streamlining its portfolio and focusing on high-performing brands, Stellantis could consolidate resources where they matter most. Mergers or strategic partnerships with other automakers may also present an opportunity to shore up weaknesses while capitalizing on shared technologies or markets. External market perception will be critical to any turnaround effort. Public confidence in Stellantis has been shaken, and rebuilding trust will require visible, consistent progress. Automakers thrive on consumer goodwill, and without it, even the most innovative products can fail. Stellantis must tread carefully as it implements changes to avoid alienating loyal customers or long-standing partners. Striking a balance between bold, drastic measures and honoring its brand heritage will be key. The stakes could not be higher. What Stellantis does next has the potential to reshape not only its own fate, but also the broader automotive landscape. The industry will be watching closely, as any steps Stellantis takes may serve as a blueprint or a cautionary tale for others in similar positions. The question remains, will Stellantis chart a path toward resurgence, or will it fade into the background as other automakers surge ahead? They're not alone. Stellantis may be grabbing headlines for its challenges, but it is far from alone in facing turbulent times. Across the global automotive industry, giants like Ford and General Motors, as well as international competitors such as Volkswagen and Toyota, are grappling with parallel hurdles. The rapid push toward electrification has left many automakers racing to catch up with Tesla, whose dominance in the electric vehicle market continues to set an intimidating standard. Meanwhile, automation and artificial intelligence are reshaping manufacturing processes and redefining what it means to be competitive. The struggles are not limited to technological shifts. Automakers are also contending with shifting consumer loyalties. Buyers today demand more than just reliability. They seek innovation, sustainability, and affordability. Many companies are finding it increasingly difficult to strike this balance, especially as supply chain disruptions and geopolitical tensions add new layers of complexity. In some cases, these challenges are exacerbated by legacy structures that slow down progress. Ford, for instance, has faced criticism for its slower rollout of electric models compared to its rivals. General Motors, despite its bold claims about an all-electric future, has encountered roadblocks in scaling production. Even companies like Volkswagen, which once dominated global sales, are now facing intense pressure to maintain market share. Stellantis' struggles mirror a larger transformation sweeping through the industry. Whether or not Stellantis overcomes its current crisis, the broader auto revolution will continue to unfold, bringing both challenges and opportunities for players across the spectrum. What needs to change? If Stellantis handed you the wheel, how would you steer the company toward a brighter future? The road ahead is undeniably difficult, but the path to redemption is not impossible. One of the most immediate priorities should be brand consolidation. With 14 brands under its umbrella, Stellantis must focus on those with the strongest market potential, redirecting resources toward models and divisions that deliver consistent returns. Another area ripe for improvement is quality control. Recent recalls have tarnished Stellantis' reputation, making it essential to restore confidence in the products rolling off its assembly lines. Investments in technology and stricter oversight could reduce production flaws, helping to rebuild trust with dealers and consumers alike. Relationships with workers and dealers also need attention. By fostering open communication and addressing grievances proactively, Stellantis can create a stronger foundation for growth. Partnerships with dealers can be revitalized by offering incentives that reward loyalty and align business goals. Finally, Stellantis requires leadership that is willing to realign priorities. Cohesive decision-making, backed by a clear vision for the future, can guide the company through this turbulent period. While the challenges are significant, Stellantis still has the resources and talent to implement meaningful changes. The key is having the courage to embrace them. why it matters to you. This is not just a story about one automaker. It is a story about the future of how we all move. Stellantis' challenges may seem distant to some, but the ripple effects of its struggles are likely to touch every corner of the automotive ecosystem. From jobs in local communities to supply chains spanning multiple continents, the implications of its potential downfall or resurgence are enormous. For consumers, the stakes are equally high. Brand collapses or reinventions shape the choices available on showroom floors. When companies fail to adapt, it leads to fewer options, less competition, and potentially higher prices. Conversely, a successful turnaround at Stellantis could mean more innovative vehicles, better deals, and a healthier automotive market overall. Stellantis' predicament also serves as a cautionary tale. It highlights the challenges of staying relevant in an industry undergoing unprecedented change. Electrification, automation, and changing consumer expectations are reshaping what it means to succeed in the automotive world. What happens next at Stellantis could provide valuable lessons, not just for automakers, but for industries far beyond. Thanks for watching, and let's know your opinion in the comments.